It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with day 2 of our 4-day in Santee. And we've moved 8 of the 9 yards of soil back into this approximately, maybe 500 square feet space. No bigger than 500 squares. And we have, here's a good rule of thumb. I have 500 square feet and 5 ton of boulder. So that's easy for you to remember when you're calculating your own projects. And these boulders range in size from what we would consider 3 foot minus down to 1 foot plus. You can see the guys are staging this.
Wait. Oh, sorry. It's fine. It's going to go flat but a little more forward. So I didn't want you to kill yourself, but.
Yeah, we're going to, this bad boy is going to live about right here.
That angle's good.
Right?
If it's easier to put it back on the dolly, go for it. But if you think you can just
Shimmy it.
manhandle it, go for it.
Because see, this is check out the striations on this boulder, and we want that exposed. So when you're staging your boulders, take into consideration angles. What's the top? What's the bottom? What's the side? Is it going to look good standing up? Is it going to look good laying down? I mean, all the things, right? I know some of you will get analysis paralysis doing that. But with a little practice, you'll nail it. You'll get it right. I promise.
And then, yeah, probably right there.
So see, the knack is to drop the boulder, and then they're just going to let it fall off. Watch your feet.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's good.
Yeah, see there? Then we're just going to shimmy it, right, back a little bit. Yeah, but that angle's lovely. See how we're kind of shimmying it back into the mound? Because we want to be able to pull the soil forward so the soil rests. Well, actually, I'm thinking more this way. Because what I want to create, if we pull this side over a little bit, that's going to create a planting space right here, right? So we can bring the soil out a little bit more. So flip it toward me a little bit.
Perfect.
Yeah, there she blows, right? So you can also see our configuration with the soil was very intentional. I have a long, mound here right now, which isn't going to stay like that. It's when we start pulling in plants and boulders, it's going to get manipulated and moved. But it's best to just kind of drop your soil in a pile. Because again, once you start working with your plants and rocks, it's going to naturally get moved all around. So this Dracaena Draco, it was in a big 36-inch box. So before we mounded, we dropped the Draco out of its box and moved the soil around it. That's another pro tip for you, so you don't have to dig a gigantic hole. Note the start that Hannah and I have up here. We're calling this our frame. Remember back in day 1 how tragic this was of weeds and just overgrown shrubbery. We got all of that yanked out. And these are all plants that are cuttings from the client's front yard. We're not quite done yet, but we've got a good start. And isn't it fun to see how we could cover this space so successfully with plants that they already have? We've got Kevin over here planting our Kumara plicatilus. This is our client's office window right here. So I wanted something in this spot that had bulk, but that wouldn't get too tall too fast so he can see through. The Bicarnia recurvata, I'm loving that down at the end. It isn't in a straight line against the Tongaensis, but pulled forward and framed out between the 2 pomegranate trees. This is set far enough back away from the walkway too that caudex can continue to grow without infringement. So it is also important to know how big things are going to get before you plant them. I think we got us a stander here, right? You think?
Looks like it can stand.
Yeah.
He's got his black top too.
Okay, and here's another thing, guys. So I'm thinking, oh, wouldn't that rock be so cool right here? But I don't want to put it here because that's going to block access to getting back behind to stage more boulders. So you have to think logistically too when you do this. Start staging your boulders where you have the easiest accessibility and work your way out. So that being said, we're going to put our big pot right here. So maybe that guy goes. Yeah, can we come around? We still have room, right, to come through here, and we can pop it in somewhere back here, right? Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe like right up in right here and over just a little bit. So see how we are manipulating the soil already, because we want to stand that boulder up, which means we'll have to dig the dirt out a little bit so we create a cradle for the rock so it won't tip over. So yeah, see, watch what's going to happen to this mound. See how the soil's getting dispersed and moved around, and that's fine. You know, we're stepping over it, we're walking on it, we're planting stuff in it. This rock here is heavy. The dolly is manipulating the soil for us. Mel and Omar stepping all over it's manipulating it. So yeah, don't be too married to your soil placement. Just get it down. And remember, height, height, height. All right, now let's see if we can stand this rock up. Oh, that's a nice flat bottom.
That other side was gorged too, Omar.
Twisted that way?
Yeah.
So that boulder is, yeah, that boulder's gorgeous. Probably 200 pounds, easy. Maybe 250 pounds. So yeah, it's not an easy day's work manipulating these things. But isn't that pretty, guys? See how that face can be appreciated from all the angles here. This installation isn't as challenging design-wise because it is just the front. We don't have a butt. You know, we aren't coming around behind and needing it to look good from all angles, just from here. So that makes our job all the more easy. It's the end of day 2 in Santee, and much progress has been made. Our dolly picked up a nail, so Greg had to grab a patch kit for it. So that slowed down production a little bit, but the guys rallied and were able to move a lot of boulders with a wheelbarrow, which was awesome. What we're doing now, well, okay, start up top. This morning we had most of this in, right? This morning, right? But look at the boulders. You know, we added boulders, and doesn't that... get the dog. Get the dogs. We were subjected to a vicious dog attack there, but the dogs have been restrained, and we shall now carry on. It's just the price you pay when you work outside. So, the boulders, right? Wow, though they not elevate this space so much. I'm so tickled. I am probably done up there, but I don't, you know, we'll see. There's some other plants that we can harvest from the front to put in, and I might not. We'll just kind of see how this develops. You know, we've got still some boulders to stage. You know, that's tricky too. We want to, you know, I know where I want plants, but I also need access to get boulders through. So, you know, it's just half of one, or 6 of one, half dozen of another, and we figure it out. But we got the beautiful pot staged here. I got this pot at Waterwise Botanicals. If you don't know, they do have really gorgeous pottery there now, in addition to house plants, and then, of course, all of this. Yeah, this is a very nice quality, very thick pot. So, still not sure what I'm going to put in it, but we'll figure that out later. You can't really see it in the video, but this, you know, is 8.5 yards of soil. We've got a lot of really great mounds and elevations here. So now it's just a question of sight lines, you know, figuring out the boulders, figuring out the faces, figuring out, you know, angles. We don't want them in a straight line. It's just, there's just a lot of moving parts, obviously. But I love the yellow jades, the Crassulo ovata variegatas. They bring such a pop of color. And that's how I do it. You know, I pull in my big, gigantic specimens first. Then I come in with my 15-gallon or my 5-gallon, super, you know, like intense color, you know, just the plants that are the biggest wow or draw the eye. And so we've got element, you know, of yellow here, and then 2 elements of yellow on this side. So, you know me, 1s, 3s, and 5s. Here's the rest of our 15-gallon plants to pull in. Oh, also that Pilosoceras juris that Hannah planted in the corner. Oh, it's so gorgeous. They've got the driftwood staged. The other Pilo is going to go against this this fence over here. But you can see this is fairly empty right here right now because we need to access this to get our boulders through. So we still have a couple of boulders to stage in here. Then we'll be pulling in a lot more plant material. Hannah's going to go to Oasis Water Efficient tomorrow and grab a whole truckload of 1-gallon tapestry plants. The idea is that we'll throw tapestry down under the Draco and underneath the Bainesii, you know, coming down. This tapestry might swing around and connect to the pot, and then we'll brush stroke with a 3rd element somewhere else. So that's what I got for you today. Thanks for following. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sharing these videos with your garden-loving friends, and thank you so much for subscribing. Catch you tomorrow, guys. Bye.